The author of this book, Kelley, always wanted to be a successful psychotherapist. She worked hard to reach her goal. Yet often, staring at the walls of her small one-bedroom apartment, she felt lonely. Whatever she had achieved did not make her fully satisfied inside. Katie realized that her clinical practice could not be her whole identity. She needed to redefine the meaning and motivations behind her work. So she began searching for her inner voice and true motivators. She discovered that helping people isn't limited to being a therapist. It also requires connecting as a human being. This shift helped her form deeper connections with others and find her true voice. To face her fears, Katie asked herself difficult questions. And the answers to those questions are what this summary will explore. If you feel incomplete inside, find yourself repeatedly unhappy, or are tired from stress, this summary will help you understand what you really want to become and what kind of life you can achieve. Katie changed her life and left behind a previously dull and gloomy identity. Today, she is a happy writer, an effective leader, and a public speaker. You can create this change too. You only need the right direction and guidance. Motivation. What truly matters to you? Have you ever thought, am I really happy? Are you working toward the future you have imagined? Are you satisfied with your life? These are the questions that make many people uneasy. To know our true desires and the reasons that drive them, we must look inward. Identifying the most important thing in your life is essential, because by copying someone else's life, you cannot find your true identity. Many times we reach a big goal, yet instead of joy, we feel unease or anxiety. The reason is that we focus only on the destination and forget to enjoy the journey. To understand your true desires, you must take control of your life yourself. You are the leader of your life. Think of it like a company and make decisions like a CEO. Free yourself from others' expectations, consider what you genuinely want, and make the choices that will lead you toward a worthy future. Simon Sinek's Golden Circle model is helpful here. It shows that behind any goal are the why, what, and how. First, it's essential to understand your why. Once your purpose is clear, deciding the what and how becomes easier. Often people know their why but adopt the wrong what or how, and therefore fail to find success and satisfaction. Katie worked for a long time as a clinical psychotherapist. She gained name and respect, but she was not satisfied. Her purpose was to help people, but she had been using the wrong methods to reach that purpose. Then Katie began making small changes and truly improved the quality of her life. Her why remained the same, to help and inspire people. But she changed her what, choosing to help leaders start their own businesses, and for her, how she adopted coaching and began sharing her ideas via social media. To find your motivators, you must leave autopilot mode. Take every step thoughtfully. Moving forward requires a clear vision, strong drive, and sustained motivation. These questions will help you understand the true direction of your life, who you want to become, and what kind of life you want to live. Think about this. Why are you doing your current job? If someone could fulfill one big wish related to your career, what would it be? Why do you support your friends and family? What do you dislike the most about your life, yourself, or your work? And most importantly, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind when you're gone? When you answer these questions honestly, you'll need to create a motivational game plan, a roadmap that will lead you toward your true dreams. Every big goal has 3 key parts: a clear vision, a strong drive, and a consistent source of motivation. Your vision should come from your imagination, not from your past or present circumstances. Your drive is the determination that pushes you forward despite every difficulty. Confidence. Overcoming your greatest fear. Now think, what is your greatest fear? Are you afraid of the dark? Or maybe of clowns, heights, spiders, or illness? Or is it that universal fear that grips every human at some point? The fear of failure or the fear of what people will say? Fear is part of human nature, but staying trapped in fear is our mistake. This chapter teaches you how to face the fear that stops you from changing your life, whether it's switching careers, taking a new step, or walking an unknown path. These things require courage and confidence. There are 2 steps to overcoming fear. First, identify the fears that are holding you back. Second, build real self-confidence. Because confidence is the power that can truly change the direction of your life. Without confidence, you can't take even a single step toward your dreams. To recognize your fears, you must pay attention to your discomfort zones. What makes you nervous, uneasy, or stressed? Because staying only within your comfort zone keeps you stuck where you are. Without facing new places, new experiences, and new challenges, you can never grow. Yes, the path may be difficult, but that's exactly where your true growth lies. Cecilia's story. Cecilia was a highly talented party planner, but her dream was to become a public speaker. The first time she stood before about 30 people to speak, her hands were sweating, her heart was racing, and her stomach even started to hurt. She was successful, but her confidence was missing. She was afraid that people would laugh at her, call her a bad speaker, or that she would stutter on stage and embarrass herself in front of everyone. In reality, Cecilia's fear was the desire to appear perfect. She judged herself too harshly every time. When she watched the recording of her presentation, she realized she looked overly rigid and defensive. She was, in fact, hiding her fear behind a mask of false confidence. Deep down, she was insecure that people might find out she wasn't as much of an expert as she appeared to be. If you also want to know where your confidence tends to weaken, ask yourself these questions. Do I take care of my physical and mental health? Do I understand how my thoughts and emotions affect me? Do I keep trying to move forward despite challenges? Do I believe I'm worthy of my dreams? Am I comfortable sharing my ideas with others? Do I feel excited to take on new responsibilities? Am I confident about my looks and personality? After answering these questions, choose 3 areas where you feel the least confident. Then create a clear action plan to improve in each area. That's exactly what Cecilia did. She began writing about her fears in a journal, joined public speaking groups, and made a firm decision that she would no longer hold herself back. Gradually, she transformed her hesitation into confidence, and eventually wrote her own book, which completely changed her life. Risk. Thinking like an entrepreneur. Some people are deeply unhappy with their lives, yet they never want to change anything, because they're afraid of taking risks. They think that if they try something new and fail, everything will fall apart. But the truth is, without risk, there's no growth and no real satisfaction. The story of Joaquin worked for 20 years as a marketing manager in various agencies across New York City. His childhood was tough, but through hard work and responsibility, he built everything for his family. He was living a stable, yet extremely boring life. Every day felt the same, no excitement, no meaning. Deep down, he had a hidden dream: to start his own PR agency that would help writers and artists promote their work. But fear always held him back. What if I fail? What if I can't provide for my family? Eventually, he decided to face his fears and realized that his fear of failure was the only thing keeping him trapped in a safe but unhappy life. With encouragement from his wife and friends, one day Joaquin took that big leap. He quit his job and started chasing his dream. The real meaning of risk doesn't only mean danger, it also means possibility. It's like taking the first step on a dark road because you believe there's light ahead. When you take a risk, there are only 2 outcomes: success or failure. But those who understand their why know that even failure is a chance to learn. Because they know, every risk brings them closer to their goal. Joaquin's success. When Joaquin finally launched his PR company, the first year was very hard. There were no clients, no money, and plenty of doubts. But he didn't give up. He invested his savings, took side jobs, and kept working. After 9 months, his faith paid off. His company started growing. He was earning enough not only to support his family, but also to help musicians and writers. He proved that taking risks doesn't mean losing everything. It means discovering your inner strength. Thinking like an entrepreneur. A true entrepreneur never waits for opportunities. They create them. They follow up when no one replies. They build networks, connect with people, and prove their value. You must do the same. If one door closes, find another. If no one replies, try again. If someone says no, turn it into a yes through your hard work. Because those who create their own opportunities aren't lucky. They are the makers of their own destiny. Now ask yourself, to understand your relationship with risk. Did my parents ever take a big risk in their lives? Have I ever taken a risk myself? And if yes, what was the outcome? Because the answers to these questions hold the key to your next leap. Remember, no dream ever becomes reality without risk. When someone around you takes a big risk, starts a new business, or quits their job to do something different, what comes to your mind? Do you feel fear, a bit of envy? Or do you feel inspired by that person? Think about it. What kind of entrepreneurs do you admire the most? Those who move forward despite danger, or those who plan every single step carefully? And when it's your turn to take a big risk, what emotion dominates you? Fear or excitement? Now imagine this. What if you never took that risk you were meant to take? What would have happened? Would you still be where you are today? Or would life have taken you somewhere completely different? Taking a risk doesn't always mean losing everything. Sometimes it means finding yourself. Still, for many people, the fear of risk comes from childhood or a past experience. Take the story of a man named Joaquin. When he was 12 years old, his father left his small architecture business to join a big company. A few months later, that company was accused of corruption and using poor quality materials. Although Joaquin's father was innocent, his reputation was destroyed. He had to take a lower-paying job, and the family went through a tough time. Since then, a thought was planted in Joaquin's mind. Taking risks can make you lose everything. But over time, he realized that not all risks are bad. He began reading stories of people who transformed their lives through unexpected risks. Slowly, his relationship with risk changed. It was no longer rooted in fear, but in courage. Character. Who you are and how you relate to people. Your character defines how people perceive you. Your personality may describe who you are, but your character shows how people feel about you. There are 3 main traits of a strong character: honesty, trust, and loyalty. When people trust you, they help you grow. And that trust isn't built by words, but by your actions. In the professional world, the greatest weapon is emotional intelligence, which includes self-awareness, empathy, discipline, motivation, and to connect with others. Remember, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. People feel for you exactly what you make them feel. Another important part of character is transparency, being honest with yourself and with others. Try asking your friends or colleagues, "What kind of person do you think I am?" Their answers will help you see whether people perceive you the way you perceive yourself or not. Loyalty, the power of staying true. Loyalty means surrounding yourself with people who stand by you even in tough times. And in return, you must be just as genuine, because loyalty is a two-way street. Take Martha, an IT professional. She was brilliant at her job, analytical, sharp, and efficient. But she lacked one thing, the human touch. She kept to herself, rarely socialized, and came across as distant. When promotion time came, she was passed over. Her teammates felt she only cared about her own success. When Martha reflected on this, she realized her shyness made her seem cold and unapproachable. So she started talking to her teammates, joining in on laughter and team activities, and even admitting her mistakes. Gradually, people began to like her. And that change transformed her career. Building a stronger character. If you want to improve your own character, choose 3 people around you whose qualities inspire you. Identify which of those traits you already have and which you need to work on. Then make a plan to adopt those qualities consciously, because the people you admire most can become your greatest teachers for growth. Harmony, orchestrating a life while pursuing your life's work. Have you ever asked yourself, is what I'm doing really my life's purpose? You probably have, because even the world's most successful people can't escape this question. Everyone wants perfect balance, where work gets done, relationships flourish, and there's time for personal peace. But the truth is, getting everything at once is impossible. We often hear stories of people who claim, look, they've balanced work and life. But behind the thinking lies a trap, a mental illusion known as the all-doing, all-being syndrome, ADABS. This syndrome convinces us that we can do everything, be perfect at everything, and keep everyone happy. But the reality is, to achieve one thing, we often have to let go of another. Example. For Jill, balance means working throughout the week and spending weekends with her family. Meanwhile, Jose works from home so he can fulfill his responsibilities as a father. Both are happy in their own ways, because they have identified their priorities. The first step to escaping ADABS is recognizing the problem. Most people get trapped in this mindset because they believe being successful is my responsibility. I have to do it all myself. Gradually, they get exhausted and feel empty inside. The truth is, you don't know time is sin. You don't have to do everything yourself. Sometimes delegating responsibility to others is the smartest choice. A 3-step process to let go. 1. Write down 3 situations where you tried to control everything but the outcome was beyond your control. 2. Reflect. If someone else were handling the situation, could they have managed it better? 3. Remind yourself repeatedly. The result is what truly matters. If delegating work leads to success, don't hesitate to do it. Now, listen to Philip's story. Philip grew up in a household where his parents worked day and night at a grocery store. As the eldest son, he took care of his 3 younger brothers. From childhood, he learned to help others. And that became his strength. As he grew up, he became a campaign manager, working for people, giving them a voice. This was his passion. Clients trusted him because they knew Philip didn't just work, he connected with heart. But one day he realized he was helping others so much that his own needs were being neglected. He felt tired and empty. Then he made a bold decision and to pursue an MBA so he could do something for himself as well. Philip didn't quit his job. He simply delegated some of his campaign responsibilities to others and began studying at night. For the first time, he learned to listen to himself before others. Gradually, he realized that when he let go, the world didn't fall apart. It actually got better. For Philip, balance now meant recharging himself so he could give even more to others. He learned to let go, and that's where his true peace began. If today you feel exhausted or lost, perhaps it's time to revisit your priorities. What gives you peace? Do you need to work a little less, take a few days off, or maybe even change your path entirely? Whatever you do, learn to lighten your load because true peace begins the moment you learn to let go. Vision, connecting the dots to your future. The process of taking risks and making smart decisions to achieve a big future goal is called strategic thinking. To take risks, you need flexibility in your thinking and creativity. Because reaching a milestone is never easy, it requires confidence and courage. Many people assume that vision is just a dream. In reality, an effective vision is a mental map, a step-by-step image that takes you from point A to point B. But often we get so caught up in our daily grind that we don't take the time to create a full picture of our future. Without a clear path, shiny, perfect-looking distractions easily pull you off course. 9 questions to clarify your future vision. Ask yourself, what is the motivation behind my life? Do I have a complete vision for my future? Who will I help along the way? Do I have an effective communication plan? What tools do I need to achieve my vision? What steps are required to go from point A to point B? And are they clear to me? If failure or problems arise, do I have a plan B? Do I view failure as a learning opportunity? Can I act with patience, commitment, and professionalism? Can my thinking sustain long-term goals, even over 40 years? When answering these questions, think long-term. Take a 40-year perspective, focus on helping others, and choose tools that genuinely propel you forward. Carla's story, from a young age, Carla loved drawing. Her paintings felt alive. As she grew older, she worked at a museum in Brooklyn and painted in the evenings. One day, she noticed that the walls and curtains of her studio looked dull next to her watercolor paintings. That's when a business idea struck her, to create home textiles using her watercolor prints. Carla sought advice from a friend and secured funding from a credit union. Challenges came, but she carefully considered each step of her vision, and eventually built a textile business creating coverings based on her artwork. Carla was a strategic thinker. Whenever a great idea came, she made a list of all the necessary steps to realize that vision, and moved confidently toward her chosen future. Even after achieving business success, she planned her next step. because vision is never a one-time task. It's a process of continuous connection and forward movement. Connecting the dots. Whenever you set a new goal, think of it as a series of dots. Each small step is a dot. By connecting these dots, the picture of your future becomes increasingly clear. Strategic thinking is entirely practical. It teaches you to bridge the gap between emotional desire and real-world steps. This mindset is what will genuinely take you to your dreams. Community. Designing your powerful network. Many people think that asking for help is a sign of weakness. They fear others will see them as incapable or criticize them. This is a misconception. In reality, asking for help and offering it are the backbone of society. In this chapter, you'll learn how to build a strong network that elevates both your professional and personal life. Networking isn't just about business, it also helps build better relationships with family and friends. Imagine a city where people support your ideas and dreams. You'd feel safe and inspired. This brings a purpose to your life that goes far beyond material goals. Make better friends, join social groups, volunteer. Do things that matter more than money. Building your network. When creating a new network, ask yourself, what kind of community do I want to be part of? What 3 benefits can I bring to that community? How can that community help me in return? Start with local communities. Find people whose interests align with yours. Then expand your network. Connect with communities in other cities, countries, and continents. Think of small steps for contributing. Your first goal might be making new friends. Later, bigger goals could include sharing your talents or onboarding new members. To evaluate your network, ask, is my community's scope large enough? Am I helping people effectively? Is my community helping me in return? Will increasing my participation enhance my benefits? Should I start a new community or improve the current one? Stephen's story. Stephen's journey illustrates this well. A friend suggested he volunteer at a financial and tax planning association. He joined NAIFA. Afterwards, Stephen started workshops, wrote newsletters, and built a large fan base. Friendships formed at the gym helped him open multiple financial offices. By connecting with the right community, you can give your best. The more you help others, the more you receive in return. Networking pushes you beyond your limitations and helps overcome weaknesses. Conclusion. Katie C. Kelley transformed her life by identifying her true desires. This summary teaches you. Without a strong purpose, you live on autopilot. Identify weak areas, improve skills, and build self-confidence. Taking risks is essential. Without it, you cannot move forward. Good character is reflected in trust, transparency, and loyalty. You can't do everything alone. Life becomes balanced and enjoyable with others' support. Think of your life as a series of dots and build a strategic vision. Join functional networks. Communities inspire growth. These lessons will help you live a genuine life. Become your own hero, take control of your destiny, and pursue your true dreams. Stop living by others' rules and rediscover your motivation, confidence, and vision.